At 0540 local time, the USS Truxtun and USS Mason are running a quiet morning watch. They are transitioning through the Strait of Hormuz, a notoriously narrow geographic choke point where deep-water maneuverability is heavily restricted. Exactly 1 minute later, every sensor on the bridge lights up. An onshore missile battery has targeted the ships, and 11 coastal cruise missiles are suddenly off the rail, closing fast. On this map, you see fast-moving cruise missiles coming off the coast. Simultaneously, over 30 cheap, GPS-guided Shahed drones launch from deeper inland. The airspace fills and surface radar catches up. 6 fast attack craft speed out, completely boxing in the destroyers. These boats are tiny compared to an Arleigh Burke destroyer, but they're incredibly fast and agile. This swarm is designed to overwhelm the destroyer's firing rate. By forcing a multi-million-dollar interceptor against a $25,000 drone, the attackers bet on a favorable exchange of attrition that leaves the ship's sensors saturated and their magazines empty. But the 2 U.S. ships are operating with the Cooperative Engagement Capability, or CEC. This system directly links the combat data of both destroyers. Down in the windowless Combat Information Center, the Tactical Action Officer doesn't have to manage 2 separate defense grids. Thanks to CEC, they can pull from both ships' vertical launch magazines as one massive, unified arsenal. Less than 15 seconds after the threat registers, the first SM-2 interceptor screams out of the Truxtun's deck, quickly followed by launches from the Mason. Traveling at Mach 3.5, they meet the incoming cruise missiles miles away from the ships. By sharing a single sensor network, the 2 ships absorb the opening volley. The sheer volume of the first wave is entirely neutralized well before it reaches the horizon. Now they have to deal with the incoming drones. Think of the airspace above the fleet like a 4-lane highway. You have FA-18s already flying in the lower lanes to hunt those drones, but the destroyers need to fire missiles through that same space. The fighters have to rapidly scramble and vacate the airspace so they don't get hit by friendly fire. The deconfliction works, but pulling the fighters out creates a momentary defensive gap. While the jets are clearing out, 4 drones slip inside the 30-mile perimeter. The destroyer's medium-range missiles intercept 3 of them, but 1 leaks through the outer screens. As the drone crosses the 1,400-yard mark, the ship's automated Phalanx system takes over, slewing its 20mm Vulcan cannon to shred the target in a single high-speed burst. With the sky momentarily clear, the fast boats close in. The captain faces a harsh spatial dilemma. He can turn his ship to bring his heaviest surface guns directly onto the boats, but doing so rotates his strongest radar panels away from the primary cruise missile lane. He holds his course. Rather than turning, he relies on his side-mounted 25mm chain guns to suppress the fast attack craft, keeping his primary sensors locked on the sky where the lethal threats live. Surviving a multi-vector swarm requires strict threat prioritization. The captain has to accept minor vulnerabilities, like bullets scratching the hull, to ensure he can stop the weapons actually capable of sinking the ship. After 90 minutes of failing to breach the perimeter, the surviving Iranian boats turn back. But an RC-135 rivet joint has been orbiting in the stratosphere all morning, quietly intercepting their encrypted radio traffic. The moment the boat commander radios his headquarters, the surveillance aircraft pinpoints his exact coordinates and pushes them to an MQ-9 Reaper drone loitering nearby. Within minutes, a retreating enemy becomes a pinpoint intelligence asset, drawing a perfectly straight line right back to their hidden base. The Reaper drone arrives over the enemy cove and discovers a trap. The boats are rearming, but they are also surrounded by an anti-aircraft belt equipped with upgraded surface-to-air missiles, specifically waiting for U.S. helicopters to arrive. So the U.S. sends in specialized jets first. EA-18G Growlers push into the airspace, activating their jamming pods to drown the coastal radar network in a blizzard of electronic noise. With the radars blinded, A-10 Warthogs dive in over the ridge. Their massive rotary cannons fire 30mm depleted uranium rounds, physically ripping apart the dug-in anti-aircraft guns. To finish the job, FA-18s drop GPS-guided JDAMs directly onto the mobile missile launchers hidden deep in the cliffs. Before committing vulnerable, low-flying air crews to an active kill zone, the military systematically blinds and dismantles the adversary's entire defensive architecture. Now that the airspace is secure, 2 AH-64 Apaches drop over the ridge and sweep into the cove to finish off the fast boats. An insurgent shoulders a highly upgraded heat-seeking missile and fires. The Apache's automated warning system catches the launch plume immediately, and in just 1.2 seconds, it spoofs the seeker by violently ejecting a massive cloud of white-hot magnesium flares. The missile chases the decoys, and the helicopter flies right through. The Apache crews transition to the offensive. They fire radar-guided Hellfire missiles that paint their own targets, methodically striking the remaining fast attack craft and folding their hulls in half against the concrete pier. The final tally is entirely lopsided. The attacking force spent around $10 billion on dozens of drones, cruise missiles, and boats, only to lose them all. Meanwhile, the U.S. convoy passed through the choke point without taking a single hit. U.S. naval capability relies on an integrated, multi-domain ecosystem. In this engagement, a localized surface ambush was immediately identified by stratospheric intelligence and dismantled by precision air power before the ships even cleared the strait.